My side looks pretty good, Bruno. What about you?
I think it looks even better.
It does, yeah.
I think we're prepped, ready to go, man. So what is the next step?
Okay, so at this point, as you know, we've washed the vehicle with a waterless wash. We've mechanically decontaminated using a clay bar. We chemically decontaminated using a coating prep polish. And I would say last but not least, but this is actually not the last step. However, this is arguably the most important step.
Okay.
And that's to seal the paint.
So when it comes to sealant, there's so many products out there and so many different options you can go with. There is ceramic coatings is like a big buzzword. Maybe it was actually a couple years ago. I've tried it. I wasn't good at it. You know what I mean? It seems like it takes a special skill and it's extremely time consuming because I looked into having someone do it and I figured, no, I'm not going to spend $2,000. I can do it myself, and I realized quickly it didn't go well. So what do?
So ceramic coatings, you know, there are kits available where you can do it yourself, but you're right, it is more of a laborious system. It's multiple steps, and frankly, it's not for everybody. And also, too, you know, you're a hands-on guy, you're mechanically inclined, but you have a busy schedule.
Right.
So, you know, the thought of paying someone else to touch your car, if you're anything like me, which we have a lot in common, I just can't fathom the thought of paying someone to
I can't
wax
pay someone
my
to cut
car.
my own grass, anything, change my, anything, even the littlest things, because I can do them. It's hard for me to say, pay someone to come in and do it. Plus, I like kind of taking pride in doing my own vehicle.
Well, sure, exactly. So the perfect in-between for that, or I guess you could say the perfect compromise, would be a graphene ceramic paint sealant.
Okay.
So it gives you long-lasting protection, it leaves the paint super slick, and you can apply it to your vehicle in 25, 30 minutes.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah, really easy.
So what's in it? I mean, it says on the bottle it's ceramic and it's graphene. Those are punch words, but they don't strike a chord with me.
So basically what this is, you know, you've heard of a paint sealant before.
Right.
Those have been around for a long time. And basically, to break it down, you have three categories. You have waxes,
Okay.
you have paint sealants, and you have ceramic coatings. And when I say ceramic coating, I'm also including the graphene coatings in there, which the graphene is like ceramic on steroids. Well, with the paint sealant technology, a lot of manufacturers have been able to infuse it with graphene.
Okay.
So it has graphene oxide in it, and basically, Bruno, it forms a harder, thicker shell of protection.
Gotcha.
Compared to like a polymer-based sealant.
So it's the next level.
It's the next level up, yeah. You spend a few more bucks, but I'll tell you, you know, when you have a $50,000, $60,000 car, what's an extra 20 bucks?
Yeah.
You
Oh
know?
gosh, yeah.
And it makes things a lot easier.
It's like a gallon of gas where I live.
Yeah, there you go. So, but you have to actually clean the surface first, which we did. And the prior three steps, as you saw, they're easy.
Right.
They don't take that long. So with a brand new car like this, with 140, 150 miles on it, a paint sealant is a great choice after performing the steps that we did.
Okay.
So you can apply this one or two ways, Bruno. You can apply it by hand, or you can apply it by machine. I always like to show the hand method first. And I'll tell you, technology's come a long way. I mean, you can purchase inexpensive waxes, and they're really hard to wipe off. Like I mentioned, spend the extra money and get something that's really high quality, because you know, we've performed these steps, and if we were doing it by ourselves, we'd probably be about 2 hours into it right now.
Really?
Yeah, we would. So here's the deal. When you're applying the wax, why would you want something that's hard to wipe off?
Yeah.
You know, because you've been out in the garage for a couple hours. I live in Florida, it's really hot.
Your back starts giving out.
Yeah, so
that
you
kind
want
of thing.
products that are easy to use.
Right.
So apply a little bit to a hand applicator pad. And this particular product is really thick, and it goes on whisper thin. Believe it or not, a 16-ounce bottle of something like this, Bruno, is enough to completely coat this Audi about 14, 15 times.
Really?
So when you break it down, cost per application, it's a few bucks per application.
Yeah, at most, it seems like.
And
that's awesome.
It is. So a little bit goes a long way, and you can apply it circular,
Okay.
or you can apply it straight line. People have their own preference. I like to apply it circular, and the reason why is because as you're overlapping, it spreads the product out, and it makes for a more uniform coat.
Now, all right, if I flash back to some of the nightmares trying to do the ceramic coatings myself, you're supposed to work in little bitty cubes like this, right? Yep. Overlap the corners. How big a panel can you go into, I guess, at that point?
Here's the deal with this particular product. What I like to do is I like to apply it to the entire car, let it dry to a haze, about 20, 30 minutes.
Okay.
Of course, you want to be in a garage.
Yeah.
You know, you're not going to apply this. Yeah, you don't want to be out in the sunlight where it's going to bake on the finish.
What would happen if you did?
It'd be really hard to wipe off.
Okay, because I hear people say that, oh, that's a nightmare. You make sure you're not in the sunlight. But I'm always the person who's, so what would happen? You know what I mean? How bad? What's the worst case scenario on something like that?
So for our friends that like to get really technical, it's not really the sun that's the issue. It's the heat of the panel.
Oh.
Because it actually changes the chemistry of the product. So big difference with that. So anytime you're waxing your car, even if the bottle says use in sun or shade, just go in the shade.
Yep.
Or be in a garage, better yet. So I apply a thin coat over the entire car. And if you have the luxury of having your vehicle in the garage all the time, I will actually leave the sealant on overnight. What that does is having that extra time, it really cross-links to form a really thick shell.
Okay.
And then when you wipe it off, it wipes off super easy, and it leaves the paint really slick too.
What if you're on the other side of it and you're in a hurry, which I often am. I talk fast and everything fast. That's just my way. And I want to, like, for me, I want to see the end result now. I don't want to wait till the next morning. I'm putting all this work in. I want to see the payoff.
Well,
how long do I have to wait?
Let it sit for 20, 30 minutes, then wipe it off.
Okay.
You know? And then you can accelerate it too by using the towel to help speed things up.
Or if you had a fan blowing on the car, like a box fan in the
garage.
garage.
Yeah, or a fan too. And then the last way I like to apply it is with a machine, because you're a machine guy, I'm a machine guy. I never use hand tools, I always use power tools. I don't know about you.
Yeah,
so
whenever I can get away with it, yeah.
Yeah, use a machine to wax the car too. So you can actually use the tool to apply a real thin coat, and this applies a more uniform coat as well.
So it's no pressure, let the machine do the work.
Yep, real soft foam finishing pad, yep. This is the cordless polisher. Very simple, very easy to use. And then basically, Bruno, what we're going to do is I'll work by hand, you work by machine. We'll put the sealant over the entire car, wipe it off, and then I'm going to show you how to top it with the ceramic paste wax.